Right here at Spatty Speed Shop, we're going to show you a quick rundown on how we like to wire our handlebars. When you get the handlebars, you're going to see that we run stainless steel wire through the handlebar. That is to help with the wiring, which this video will be about me showing you how we like to do it. If you notice underneath our handlebar, you're going to see these two 7/16 holes. These we call our cheetah holes. They are to help you if you need to get up there with a little hook. You can pull on the wires. If you get into a jam, late model, our POV late model twisted T-bars are a lot easier than earlier model because they have CAN bus wiring. Anytime we do a handlebar install, we really like to use these NAMs. They're not so much a full wire extension, but it's actually going to replace the stock wires. And what we do is we take these out of when we take these out of the package, we always like to remove the connectors. You can do that with proper tools that you'll need. Any type of pin style terminal tool will work just fine. But we like to remove the connectors, that way when we run the wires through, we don't have anything big and bulky getting in the way. So what we did was we already have a set here ready to go. So you got your right side with the extra wire included. We went ahead and we did shrink wrap these a little bit tighter, so that you know, the tighter they are, the better they're going to flow through the inside of the bar. So we went ahead and took the plugs off. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you kind of the easiest method on wiring our handlebars. First thing you're going to want to do is grab a pick, get in there. You'll see that we have the stainless steel wire inside here. Carefully pull that out. Basically, you have one wire going to the left side and one wire going to the right side of the bar. I wire these so that the hole is facing me at all times. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take the stainless steel wire. We're going to always, what I like to do, so you can take advantage of having the stainless wire that we provide you with, we're going to run the left side of the handlebar, the left controls first, because we're going to use this afterwards to help us run the right side controls, because you're going to have the throttle by wire wires separate from the hand control wires. So, and then you'll notice up top here, get in there, you can pull out the wire, so that is ready to go. So start with that. All right, so now we have the stainless steel wire sticking out on both ends. I'm going to go ahead, pull this through the opening here for the hand controls. We're going to take our left side hand controls, which is the wires. It's only got 4 wires in this harness. You could probably run them through with the plugs on the end on the left side. They're not that bad, but we just like to remove it. Since we're removing the right side, it's easier to just remove the left. That way you can get a nice clean run through without any of those corners of these plugs binding up. You know, this area here is a little tricky. Once you get past that, and if you need the cheetah hole, it's there waiting for you. We're going to basically take our wires, use the stainless, and what we're going to do is we're going to just basically wrap these around right under the terminals there, so it has something to bite onto. Just going to do a nice full loop around like that, so you can see that there. You don't want to go too crazy with these. You don't want to suffocate the wires and kink the wires, or could cause a lot of damage, and you don't have to go too crazy. But what we'll do here is we'll just give this a little twist. That way we get a good bite as we're coming through. Okay, so now you can see that we have a nice connection here. So we want to run this wire straight down and run the wire we're going to be pulling through the bar going up. Take a little electrical tape, and then what we like to do is just wrap these nice so that none of these terminals hit anything as they're passing their way through. So I'll just take some electrical tape, wrap it around, right over the top, give it a nice point, and then work my way down, covering up all the wires completely right to the shrink tube. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead, grab the bottom stainless wire here, and what we're gonna do is, as we're pulling through, we're gonna feed this guy. I learned that as you push more and just pull less down here, it actually allows it to flow. Right out through the bottom. I'm gonna leave about 4 or 5 inches of wire hanging out at the top so that we can connect our control to after. Now you're just gonna go back in and we're gonna take off all the electrical tape that we put on. Then we're gonna unwind this stainless steel wire that we have wrapped around the wires, like so. That's it. No damage to the wires. Everything looks nice and clean. So we're gonna save this, because now we're gonna show you how to use this with installing your right controls. At this point, take these guys, move them out of the way. Usually I just fold them back, take a little electrical tape. I hold my left side wires out of the way. Just like that. Now it's the right side. A very important thing you want to keep in mind is when people run wires through handlebars, they kink up, sometimes they twist around each other, and that's the problem. It makes it a nightmare pulling wires through. If you can run 2 leads into the handlebar and have one set of wires sit under the other set of wires, as you pull the wires through, they'll actually piggyback each other all the way through. Once you start crossing them, it makes it harder to pull the wires through because they're fighting each other. So what we like to do is stainless wire that we provide you with, you're gonna have another piece up top. What we have to do is pull these, we want to pull the stainless wire out through the bottom and attach it to our other stainless wire, so we have two pieces of stainless wire coming through instead of just one, because we have 2 separate wires. So I just take a piece of string, and then what I'll do is I'll attach the string to the stainless wire that's provided in the bar. Same idea, just kind of want to, I made a little knot in the end of my string. I'm going to wrap this around so I don't lose my string. So got a nice connection right here. I don't see that going anywhere. It's nice and tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out through the bottom. Just like so. Okay. Now, take our other piece of stainless wire that we had from the left side of the controls. And what we're going to do is we're going to run this through the cheater hole on the right side, have it come out the middle. Now we're gonna go ahead and take the end of the stainless wire that I just ran through the cheater hole and out the center. And I'm gonna come into the existing stainless, pass through that little hole I made earlier, come in, and then twist this around so I don't lose this as I'm pulling it back up. Crimp these together, twist them together however you like, just so you get a guarantee that you're not going to lose them as you pass through. Okay, now this is very important now, is that the string is only here to help us pull these two wires together. The idea is, as you're pulling these two wires, hold them so that you have one on top and one on the bottom. In this case, what we're going to do is I'm going to hold these wires just like so, keeping this guy on top and the other one on the bottom. So now we are coming through the handlebar with all of our stainless wire. Now as I'm pulling it through, it's going to keep it one on top, one on bottom, because I got one coming in this way, and then this one's coming up this way. Once they hit the top, they'll piggyback all the way over this turn and come out through here, having one come out the end of the bar and one coming through the handlebar control area. So just like a little tug, getting over that top corner. Top now. So at this point, you can just go ahead and cut these. Start fresh. Okay. String did its job. That's done. Okay, so now this is the one that we ran on top, which right here. So what we're going to do is, I always like to run the throttle control past this area here, and then I like to pull them straight through the cheater hole and hold it right at the end. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my hand controls to this one and my throttle to this one. Same thing like I showed you before. All right, so now that we have the both pieces of stainless wire coming through the bar out through the top, we have our hand controls here. You see how we wrapped it around, and then we ran the end of the wire facing down, and then the wire we're gonna be pulling through facing up. We got a nice connection right there. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of pull this in a little bit so it's not so tight, not sticking out so much, I mean. All right, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tape this end. Okay, that's my hand controls. Now I'm gonna do my throttle control, same idea. Ran it around, got a nice connection here. Stainless wire run up to the top, little end towards the bottom. Tape this up nice. Sometimes what I like to do is I'll wrap the tape around, and I'll take these wires for the heater control, and then I'll tuck those in up underneath so I get a nice loop up top here. Get my little point going, then work my way down towards the shrink tube. Now we're ready to pull them through. Yes, baby powder. It actually does work. So put baby powder all over the wires. I don't use any like sprays or anything like that. I find that the baby powder works the best. The idea is to pull this guy here. This is your throttle. Pull it down till you just see the beginning of the tape touching the hole. We're gonna stop there. There it is. So we're gonna leave this right here. This is definitely gonna be the trickiest part right now. What we're gonna do is sneak this underneath our throttle. Once we get past this, we're gonna keep coming down and then come out through the top. I'm sorry, the bottom hole. Sometimes it's nice to just wrap the stainless around your hand so you don't have any wire dangling around and scratch the handlebars. I'm gonna push and give it a little tug just till I hit that corner. Just made it past. So now I'm just gonna keep pushing until I come out to the bottom. Leave my 4 or 5 inches down at the bottom there, just hanging. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this off because it's no longer needed. I don't need this wire dangling anymore. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the end. I can actually cut this down if I really want to. I don't need all that either. At this point. We'll take this, just tuck it in there so it's resting up on the back side of the bar. And I'm gonna feed this through the cheater hole and I'm gonna come right out the bottom center. Like that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my stainless wire. Feet up here, and I'm gonna pull my throttle through. This is moving very smooth, so I'm gonna stop here and show you a couple little tricks just in case you do happen to cross the wires or if it's not as easy as this went. I always find these cool little angled pliers help with pushing the wire. The more you push on the wire, I'll get in there and I'll grab my throttle. And then what I'll do is I'll just feed the throttle through as I'm pushing on the backside. What I'm doing is I'm bunching up the throttle area up here so that I can pull on this, as you can see. Another cool little thing is I took an old screwdriver and rounded the head on it and then took away the point, the sharp edges, and got a nice little radius to it, nice little tool that I made to help us with the wiring. Usually what you can do is you can get up in there, grab your wire, feed it, pull it out. Feed it, pull it out. Don't recommend using something like this because it has too much of a sharp point. You could damage the wires. So let's just go ahead and finish. We're gonna push and pull. Line up your notches. Push that in, and that's it. We've just wired our POV twisted T-bars and how to use the stainless steel wire the right way to help make the job quicker and easier. Hope you enjoyed the video. Of course, if you ever have any questions, don't ever hesitate. Call Spatafor Choppers at 781-324-1912. Thank you.